Hi everybody, it's Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 9, take 50, 60, 70. Still trying to test some settings here. Let me know if I'm coming through okay. We're
Season 8, Episode 9, take
here, so I'm not sure
50,
how well this is going to stream. If you guys
70.
can hear me, just give me a quick 999 in chat.
Still
We'll
trying
give us
to
a
test
shot. Some
as
settings
people
here.
start
Let me
to
know if I'm
The
coming
Walking
through okay.
Dead
in a little bit.
We're
Season 8,
changing a couple
Episode
proxy
9,
settings
take
here, so I'm not sure
50,
how
see a few
well
people
this is
popping in.
streamed,
If you guys
but,
can hear me, just give me a quick 999 in chat.
Still
We'll
trying
give us
to
a
test
shot. Some
as
settings
people
here.
start
Let me
to
know if
The
I'm pretty strong
Walking
today
Dead
at this
in a little
point.
bit.
What's up,
We're
guys?
Season
Good
8,
to see you.
Episode
Proxy
9,
settings
take
here, so I'm
Eric
not
Johnson.
sure
See
how
a few
well
people
this is
popping in,
streamed. If you guys
but,
can hear me, just give me a quick 999 in chat.
Still trying.
We got all kind of stuff going on. Who knows? Who knows what the playback is going to be like? I swear, we're going to have a live discussion here eventually. All right. Hopefully, we'll be finished with it. That I can figure out. Yeah, the two discussions. All right, cool. I'll explain that in a couple seconds. All right, so I see Maggie, DDA, Real, Kel, Epic Vid, Scott. All right, Scott, thank you last night for that super chat donation. Also, thanks to Pete D. I saw Pete D jump in here a little bit ago as well. So appreciate that. We're just going to give it a couple minutes just to let some people log in to make sure that the stream is going through okay. I'm not 100%. So it has been just a whole lot of random stuff. So the echo you heard in the background, I didn't mute the playback. So that's my fault. That's on me. But I'm still trying to, this is kind of a semi-test. If we can get through a couple minutes of talking, then we'll get into the content. So if you guys are watching the playback, I apologize. It is a setting. It's a proxy setting at some point. But when you do these broadcasts, there's just a whole lot of different settings. There's a YouTube setting. There's a Chrome browser setting. There's an OBS broadcast setting. And then when it goes wrong, it's a lot of troubleshooting. So Dave Doherty's like, "Hi, Kills, how's it been?" It has been absolutely terrible, to be honest with you. It's feels like random things, doesn't it, Bob? Yeah, I agree. I think YouTube is just YouTube doesn't like me. Well, at first I thought it was just somebody hacking me exactly at 9:30 every night. What's up, Jake? Good to see you. Well, Maggie, I'm always here. So, yeah, don't worry about that. You know, some days it might take a day or two to get the technical stuff sorted out, but I'm not going anywhere. And I did a test like a few hours ago, maybe 3 hours ago, and 20, 30 people jumped in, no issues whatsoever, and then bam, as soon as we get into it. So, all right, well, I see a few people actually. Bryoptic, you know, you're not late, believe it or not. You're actually just on time. Okay, everybody. What I wanted to talk about last night, and we'll get into the topic tonight, is The Walking Dead Season 8. Daryl is Negan's worst damn nightmare. And I wanted to play off of that a little bit because there's some dialogue in the little tunnel, in the sewer, where they're all talking about going back to Hilltop. So Dwight steps in and says, you know, basically in so many words, "You sure you all want to go to Hilltop? You know, you're all going to be grouped up there for Negan." And Daryl says, "All of us together will be his worst damn nightmare." And that kind of hit me because it, thank you, Pete, because of they've been so spread out. And now I think they're giving the fans what they want. So I do want to give a shout out to Pete D and Twice, and Scott last night. We were trying to do the stream, and Scott did super chat donations, so thank you so much. And I did see, you know, you're talking about some of the previews that are out there, and Pete's just dropping in saying, "Hey, Pete's making a donation so I can hire a technical person to come in and figure out why the stream is so sporadic." So let me get back to the storyline a little bit, And you saw Denise Huth and Greg Nicotero talking about not only Carl and the impact that Carl's death is going to have, but also talking about how the group is just not trusting anymore. And it's a very important storyline. And what's neat about this is they can do that lack of trust and still satisfy the fans and give us that action and the group being all back together. And in fact, I think it's brilliant because all of them coming back together is what makes them strong. But because there's so many strong personalities in there, it's actually their Achilles heel. It's what's going to weaken them in the long run. So a couple potential storylines that could happen in the second half that I do want to highlight today, and I want to call on a few people. So let me go ahead and give the disclaimer here. Obviously, anything that you type, if you're new to these streams, all the streaming along the side is not showing up, so anything you type could be used in the video. I may call on you, so be careful what you type and make sure it's relevant toward the topic. And we will just do some random call-outs. So let me give you a couple potential storylines. So Daryl, as we know, said he was going to kill Dwight, but now it's looking more like he's not. And Tara still seems to want to kill Dwight. So it looks like we've got a little bit of a rift that could occur between Tara and Daryl. So I'm going to ask the group right now, will Daryl not killing Dwight cause a long-term rift between Tara and Daryl? Or we saw Tara put the gun to Dwight's head. Will Tara actually let Dwight off the hook? Will it be Tara that keeps Daryl from killing Dwight? Leave your thoughts and comments. I'm going to call in a few people. And I've got a couple other potential storylines that are out there as well, too. I got a yes. But that was a two-part question, Bri. Filomeno says short-term rift. But hold on, I want you to hold that thought because there's going to be a lot of short-term rifts. And as we know, these short-term things can boil up. So that's just one that we're going to talk about. But hold that thought. Penny for your thoughts, very possible for the rift. And as I said, that's rift number one. We're going to get to a couple more rifts here in a minute. Epic Vid says, Tara will not kill Dwight because he's the inside man. Petey Wheatstraw says, I think Tara will attempt, but Daryl will stop her. I think that Daryl is going to pardon Dwight and Tara will honor that. Good point. Julie King says, I think Dwight is softer toward Dwight now than Tara. Maybe Daryl. Daryl. She meant Daryl softer toward Dwight. Good point, Casey. Dwight isn't dying. Okay. Now, that's subplot number one. But here's subplot number two. And I know this isn't going to be a very popular opinion. But because we're so used to these support groups, and Rick and Michonne are there for each other. But there's some frustration. I do have to tell you that Rick is under the microscope. And Michonne wants vengeance. And I don't know if you saw, but in a little bit of the, I think it was behind the scenes, there's 3 teasers out there, but one is an indirect teaser. So number one is called Nightmare. And basically that's where Carl starts out where he says, you put down your guns before. Sorry, it's not a time to imitate weak Carl. But anyway, you get it. So that's the first one. And then there's another one with a little bit more added to it. Shows a little bit more Hilltop. And then there's a third one. It's on the AMC channel. If you want to check it out, it's called, it's Behind the Scenes. And that is where this little gem of a picture came from. So if you see the picture of Negan, that is actually, and I did a video 2 weeks ago, and I'll get back to the point in 1 second with Michonne and Rick. I did a video 2 weeks ago, and it was titled Negan Taints Lucille. And I know some people thought they saw the side angle, and they saw Negan turn around and swing the bat in the teaser, and they're like, that could be Dwight, that could be somebody else. And I was like, no, we did freeze frames, and it was actually a walker. So this picture here is from that behind the scene, and that is after Negan turns around and hits the walker and smashes his brains. So those are actual walker brains. Correct. He has smeared it all over the bat, and you can see that kind of little smirk. Now, what's interesting is we also think that this is... Negan still wants to kill Rick. And he even says in the teaser, like, once I clip Rick, it's all aces. So not only do you have to go back and watch some of the behind the scenes, you have to listen to a little bit of the dialogue as well. Scott, are you asking how does he figure the walker guts? I'm going to say that Eugene has a big part of that, because there's also a scene where Eugene is making the bullets where he takes his protective glasses off. And it's a look of shock, so it's either one of two things. Either it's an epiphany and it's like, hey, walker guts, you know, that'll really work out here, or he gets word that Carl dies. So I'm going to predict one of those two things happen, and I think Eugene is actually going to give Negan the idea. And it could have something to do with Father Gabriel being sick. You know, they rubbed walker guts all over him as well, so that could be part of it. Maybe Negan sort of figures it out, or, you know, Eugene pieces it together like, hey, this is how he got sick. So let me go back to, and anyway, as I said, this is a little bit of that clip. I'm going to do a couple more videos. It's going to take some of those clips as well. And in one of those is back to the point with Rick and Michonne. We know that they go over to the junkyard. But Michonne is killing walkers, and Rick in a little bit of frustration. Rick's actually going to turn to Michonne. You know, Michonne is just, you know, it's a couple things. One, it is the frustration with the scavengers because they almost killed her. That's one. But then I think it's also going to be not only the junkyard and the scavenger situation, it's also going to be, you know, the sorrow of the Carl situation. And this is where I said Rick is going to be put under the microscope. So if Rick actually wants to spare some lives, Michonne's going to judge him. And because I think Michonne is in full kill mode at this point. So when he turns around and says, Michonne, Michonne, then, you know, it's basically like, get it together, you know, we got a job to do, but she's kind of blinded by rage. And I think that's where we're going to see a little bit of that, another rift. So you've got the rift with Tara and Dwight. You've got a potential rift with Michonne and Rick. And that's the hardest one, because if Rick doesn't have Michonne at this point, he's lost everything. So she's going to have to be cognizant of that and really help him keep it together at this point. So I do as well. So Casey says, I love Michonne in full kill mode. Definitely, but something is holding Rick back a little bit, where he still has a plan, but sometimes when Rick has a plan, it doesn't always work out the way we want it to work out. So there's also going to be the third rift that is pretty obvious, and that is the one between Jesus not wanting anybody to die and Morgan wanting to kill Jared, and also Maggie killing people that is going to escalate this war a little bit. So if you go back, and I don't do a lot of promos here, but go to AMC's YouTube site and check out the behind the scenes, because there's going to be 3 or 4 little clips of dialogue that's going to tell you a lot about the second half. And the one thing the producers keep saying is that the group is going to run into trouble because they're going to have a lack of trust. So, hey, Carol, good to see you again. It's Angela. Hey, I see a lot of you guys. Thanks for popping in. We're trying to work through some technical difficulties. It's a little better than last night. We still got a little bit of buffering and a little bit of lag. So once the stream is over, I'm going to do a little bit more behind the scenes. But definitely appreciate all of you guys kind of popping in and being patient. We will get through it. So just stick with it. And it may take us a little longer with the buffering to get our thoughts and ideas out there, but we will get our thoughts and ideas out there. Jordan Henley says, do you ever see Dwight and Daryl working together? Jordan, I am the first predictor of the Dwight and Daryl bromance. It is documented. It is in writing that my prediction was that Dwight and Daryl will go rogue, and they will go out looking for Sherry, and they will find the Whisperers. And that's going to be the start of the Whisperer War. So I think at the end of the season, in 15 or 16, we're going to start to see a little bit of that really manifest and take place. And I also think that we're going to find either Sherry's head on a stick or Heath's head on a stick, which is going to be a whole different... Because the war is going to end soon, and once the war ends, the next big battle is going to... I think it's going to prelude the Whisperer War. Hippo wants to know, what's the scoop on Lauren Cohan's negotiations? You know as much as I do at this point, because I've seen that she asked for a pretty substantial raise, and we'll see. We'll see if they need her. We'll know by the end of the season how much of a story that she's actually going to have in the next season. They're not going to cast anybody else. I think they sign her. At least if they sign her for half the season to kind of write her off the show. Petey Wheatstraw, you got to put the Dwight and Daryl teamwork on a shirt. Steph Richardson, are you taking that down? They want to see the D&D combination on a shirt. So Steph is the shirt designer, a.k.a. prize coordinator. So, yeah, we might see that. I do have a shirt announcement to make. See what I just did there? It's like a pun. Instead of short announcement, I said shirt announcement. We are going to make an announcement in a little bit, so you guys will know what's up. Daryl, the question is, who will take over Carl's storyline from the comics? Everybody at this, or a lot of people at this point, are assuming there is going to be a Carl storyline. Maybe there won't. So we're going to have to play that by ear a little bit. I mean, we assume that when somebody dies, that somebody else will jump in and just do what they do. Not necessary. Rial says they could write Maggie out when Enid is a little bit older. They got to be careful who they write out at this point, and because I understand. I sympathize with a lot of the hardcore fans. I'm a hardcore fan of the show, not a hardcore fan of a character. Big difference, right? So whatever the show does, I put on my seatbelt and I'm along for the ride. Fanboy, whatever you want to call me. So if Daryl dies, if Abraham dies, if Maggie dies, I don't sweat it. I mean, I don't get too attached to any one character. Now, that doesn't mean that in a couple of weeks that, I'm not going to be sitting there bawling like the rest of you guys when Carl dies. It's going to be moving. But I don't put all my eggs in one character. I loved Abraham. Abraham's gone. I move on to the next story. And The Walking Dead is not afraid to do that. So if they write Maggie off, then I'm gonna watch, even if it's slightly less. But I think, to my point, there's a lot of people that they say, oh, I don't want to watch anymore. Abraham's not on the show. I don't want to watch anymore. They're killing Glenn. The show's just not the same. It's not the same. It's a different show. But I'm a fan of the show. And there will be a therapy session afterwards. Trust me. We'll do our countdown. We'll do our spoilers before the show, and then it'll be a late stream because we're going to wait till after Talking Dead. Do I think Enid will find a boyfriend? Let me say this. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of romance on the show until some time passes by. I think the show needs a time skip if you're going to get back into that. And as we talked about, you know, could it be Aaron and Jesus? It could. But right now, you're in the middle of a war. The last thing they're thinking about is getting some action. So we'll just kind of table it at that. Things are going to need to die down and seem somewhat normal before people are back to a normal love quest. Northside Queen with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Northside Queen. And her comment is, I don't believe they need to keep killing the few main characters they have left to keep the show going. There are some politics that go into that, obviously. You know, their salaries. And there are people, though, Northside, that I would say could step into a bigger role. If Ezekiel lives, Ezekiel could have a bigger role. Jerry could have a bigger role. Let me do this. I mean, and this stream wasn't necessarily about that, but I will ask the question. Name the top 3 characters on The Walking Dead that you would like to see have a bigger role on the show. And I'm just going to see what people throw out there. This should be something we talk about, random things, or actually, we may actually dig down a little bit deeper into this on Wednesday night. Top 3 characters. Sith Lord, I'm going to get, I'll answer that. I'm going to say no. No crossover with Walking Dead and another show. Zay says Cindy. Absolutely. Cindy is definitely one. Maggie says Cindy. Pat Senzone says Dwight. Michelle Wolf says Dwight. Sheila Beasley, Jesus, Aaron, and Jerry. So I'll give you Jerry. I want to rot dead too. Enid, Aaron, and Father G. Jerry for sure, says Lenore. Cindy, Walani. Wayne says Cindy. All right, so a lot of people are saying Cindy and Jerry. Okay. And I don't want to make this like too super of a debate, but it is something I want you to think about. So, if a lot of people are saying Cindy and Jerry, then they can't get them airtime with all the stars out there. So, and it's not to take the complete opposite of what you're saying, Northside, but I could say that there are some characters that could get less face time, and we could move these people up. So here's the follow-up question, and we'll start to wind the stream down just so we can just work out all these technical bugs. I know we're a little bit back and forth. So now I want you to pick 2 characters, and don't make it a B character, not like a Rod or not somebody you want dead. Name 2 characters on the show that you would like to see less of. 2 characters you'd like to see less of, because from what I've seen so far, and people actually put Aaron in there, Cindy, Jerry, and Aaron were the 3 people you said you'd like to see more of. So pick 2 people that you think they get a little too much airtime. Maggie says Tara and Eugene. Pete says Tara and Tara. Eugene and Tara. And I think across the board, most people are going to say Tara. Jadis is gone, so we know she's gone. All right. Tanner says Tara and Eugene. We know Morgan is leaving. All right. So the point of that is Tara and Eugene are both pretty major characters to the story. And they've kind of wore out their welcome a little bit. Eugene has a history. Tara, because of her ties to the governor and what she's sort of been through and everything with Denise. Now, maybe she's not vital at this point, but they are stars on the show. So there's two characters. So Northside, this would be my point. So maybe not Maggie, maybe not Carl, but the show could take Eugene and Tara off and then immediately replace them with Cindy and Jerry. And then we just keep moving right along. And that is going to be something that we dig into a little bit deeper tomorrow night when we get into random things. So I just kind of want to leave it at that. We will talk about it a little bit deeper. Tonight I really wanted to touch on just kind of that storyline and show you guys the picture, and I'll do a little bit more freeze frames of the behind-the-scenes stuff so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So we do know from confirmation Negan does taint Lucille. That is not a person. That is Walker brains and Walker guts all over the bat. We did talk a little bit about Tara, Dwight, Daryl dynamic, that rift is going to be a bigger deal. And Greg Nicotero even said that once they get over the Carl situation, trust is going to be a big issue. People they've trusted in the past and who they can't trust. And it's going to start to boil over a little bit because their egos are going to come into play. Rick and Michonne. Rick needs Michonne as that support group. Michonne might be looking at Rick once again like, I need you to be tough, Rick. I need you to go out and kill something. So that's a little bit of the dynamic. Jordan Henley, do you think Eugene will ever be likable again? No. I think Eugene is done. He's making bullets at this point. I don't think there's anything that Eugene can do to backtrack from that. In fact, I think, if anything, Eugene might be one of the characters that actually takes his own life. I feel like he's torn. He's going through some things where he doesn't know which side to support. He's trying to help. He's trying to survive. But I think that Carl dying is going to be the end of Eugene. And don't quote me on it from a spoiler perspective, but I would not be surprised to take an exit, maybe take one of his own cyanide pills and kill himself. And then when he does, you'll probably get a little bit more airtime for Cindy and Jerry. And look, I know they're different type of characters, but there's only so many stars you can have on the screen at one time. So I just want to thank all of you guys for being patient. I know we've had some issues with streams over last night. I'm still going to work to try to get all these details ironed out. Hopefully be a little bit more smooth. I appreciate all of you guys showing up, being patient. If you guys could still slap that like button, support the 999 Army. And of course we get a little bit of buffering as I'm trying to make the exit and make my way out the door. Hopefully it'll be a little bit smoother tomorrow. As a reminder, we do have random things tomorrow. We will have a shirt giveaway. It's going to be a special Valentine's Day shirt, so there'll be more details about that tomorrow. What I would like for you guys to do, if you want to qualify for the shirt, Stephanie is going to post a poll on the 999 Walking Dead Army page that we have. And what we want to know is what you like most about Daryl Dixon. And there will be a special limited edition shirt tomorrow that Stephanie's going to give away. So leave over on the 999 Army channel, even if you're watching the playback. The poll will be posted a little bit later on tonight. And then it'll be random. So if you don't at least say something, you can't win. So you do have to at least log on and say something, and then it's just going to be a random selection. We're just going to number everybody there, roll the dice, and then whoever gets picked, and we will make that announcement tomorrow night during random things. So you're going to want it, even if you're a guy and you're a Daryl Dixon fan and pink is your favorite color, then this might be a shirt just for you. So we're also going to do some additional things later on the season. There could be a Carl shirt, could be a Dwight and Darryl shirt, a few other things. There'll be some themes, and we'll probably line it up by having people just log onto the website. And it's just a poll. It'll take you all of about 2 minutes in order to do that. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate all of you being here. Once again, if you guys could slap the like button. and we'll have random things tomorrow. Give me a quick 999, and I want to do some shout-outs. I may lose you again to buffering, but just remember, even if I lose you, I will find you. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all of you guys being here. Let me get some quick 999s, and we will wind this thing down. And I'm going to go work on some proxy settings and see what we can do to get this thing straightened out once and for all. Shannon Brown, thank you so much for being here. Northside Queen, appreciate you being here. Michelle Wolf, King Arthur, 24085, John Brody, Julie King, Zay Johnson, Laura Butler, Walani, Brian Clayton, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Beth wants a Maggie shirt. Hey, you know what? Maybe. Who else we got? Wayne in the house. Scott Kernan, thank you so much. Sith Lord, thank you also, Sith Lord. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for that super chat question as well. Also, Petey Wheatstraw, Pete D, Scott Kernan, appreciate all of you guys. Northside Queen as well. Deborah Mooney, it's Angela, thank you. Carol McFry, good seeing you, Carol McFry. Thanks for being back. Who we got? Madison Dickey, thanks, Madison. Pat Senzone, thanks so much. Bryoptic. Dalton Johnston, thanks for being here. Penny for your thoughts. Oh, One-Eyed Carl. What's up, One-Eyed Carl? Rial, thanks for being here. DDA Ohio. Appreciate all of you guys that are here as well that provide a lot of informative information. Informative information? That was kind of a oxymoron, was it? Informative chat, I guess. Wow, I'm just doing like oxymorons and double negatives and stuff out there. It must be late, and the stream has me distracted. Who else we got here? Epic Vids, thanks for being here, Epic Vids. Appreciate you. 999 Gamer, thanks for being here. Jake Turgeon, thank you so much, Jake. And we will do the finals of the 70s. Wow, we're back in the 70s. 70s music will be one of the categories, and a couple other things in there as well. I'm trying, Wayne. I'm trying, man. I'm hanging in the best I can. Chris Rainick, thanks for being here. Randall Roundtree, what's up, Randall? Kel, can you post a link for the Facebook page? Will it let you do that? There's a couple people who are regular in the streams and that have not logged onto the Facebook page, and I just want to get everybody a chance to do that. Hey, thank you, Randall. Appreciate you being here, man. Walking Dead, 999 Army, and 999 Sports as well. And, you know, we get some good activity on the sports page. It's a chance just to, you know, put some memes up, you know, brag about your favorite team. And I got to tell you guys, right before I jumped on the stream, before the lag and everything else, I just want to give a shout out to USA. Chloe Kim dominated. Open and spoil it. Shoot. All right. I might have spoiled it for some people that haven't watched the Olympics. You know what? I already spoiled it. Sorry. This is Spoiler Channel. Chloe Kim kicked ass and won a snowboarding competition. Yes! Rocked it. So get over there to 999 Sports and post that as well. And if you haven't watched the playback, sorry that I ruined it for you. I was just super excited. All right, everybody, and with that, if I missed you in a shout-out, when this video goes live, just leave comments on the video, and I'll make sure we catch you on the next time. I'll try to do a little bit better, and I will see you all tomorrow night at 9:30 for some random things. Shirt giveaway, get over to the Facebook page. You guys have seen it. And we got to have some way to, not everybody is on Facebook. You know what, Casey? I'm not going to require everybody to be on Facebook for every contest we do. For this one, you are going to have to visit the site. So if you don't have it, then hey, you can still please hang out with us tomorrow night. But I'll also give directions. And you know what? Maybe I'll talk to Steph. Maybe we'll give one away for the Facebook post, and then we'll do one randomly away for the stream. How about that? Stephanie wanted to give away 2, so that's what we're going to do. One person will qualify by going to Facebook, and then the other one we'll give away randomly on the stream tomorrow night. Okay. Solved? Is that good? That way everybody There you go, Jenna. So, that'll be your chance as well. So if you are on Facebook, then you have like double the chances. We'll just do it like that. Okay, cool. All right, everybody. Thanks once again, and I will talk to you all tomorrow night. Peace.